Well, folks, it happened. We're here. We're finally here. Doomsday Clock is here. I'm Troy to the Max Extreme.
And I'm Ghost Hunter Dave.
Oh, no. So Doomsday...
DC screwed more like a child prostitute on a flea-ridden hotel mattress. World would be much better if they kept grubby hands off his creation. Alright, should we talk Doomsday Clock?
Yeah, I think we should.
Alright.
Was he just exploded?
Yeah.
Very good. So Doomsday Clock, it's finally here. I said in the title, I'm excited about it, Dave. It's finally arrived.
I didn't think it was going to happen in our lifetime. So.
I really thought when we did the teaser for, like the trailer for the whole year of the Doomsday Clock watch, we really wouldn't have got it done in a year.
No.
I thought it was going to really be delayed until like 2021. So it finally dropped in our laps December 18th, 2019. It was a nice birthday present. Not that my birthday was that day, but it was the same week.
Well, there's a feather in your cap.
Pop!
And just 3 days after the finale of the HBO Watchmen show as well.
That's right.
Which we will be covering in detail shortly.
So Doomsday Clock had a lot going on coming up into this last issue.
God, did it ever.
Just that slight pause of you recollecting everything that came up into it.
Trying to think, was the Doomsday Clock going on before I was born?
Let me just get your initial thought. Do you think it wrapped up everything that it needed to?
You know what? I think, strangely enough, it did.
Off camera, I know we talked about this like quite a bit. Like, it's got a lot of footwork to do.
Right.
Well, it was an oversized issue. It was like 49 pages or something like that.
Yeah, yep. Do you remember when this started? When did Doomsday Clock start?
Oh, yeah, it would have been like...
It's been well over a year, because it's 12 issues, and there's been massive delays.
Maybe 2 years? I don't even know anymore.
I don't
know.
So
much time has passed.
It's hard to imagine life without Doomsday Clock. Either way, Geoff Johns and Gary Frank, and a team of other collaborators, have compiled what was always thought of as impossible.
Yeah.
A follow-up to Watchmen.
Yeah.
Not a prequel, not a tie-in, but a direct sequel, for lack of better words.
Right.
And over the course of multiple years, several delays, and a lot of just uncertainty from the general public, they pulled it off.
Yep.
And I want to say that, you know what, they did a pretty good job.
Pretty good job is pretty much where I'm at, too. Did it blow me away? Not really. There's some parts in it that I really liked, and I wanted them to elaborate on that more. But I don't think by the end I was like, holy shit, this is fucking great!
Yeah. So, we'll say right up top, spoilers aplenty.
Yeah.
I felt like, overall, this was a lot less of a Watchmen book and a lot more of another jumpstart of the DC universe.
Yeah. It was more of like a follow-up to like Rebirth than maybe a Watchmen thing.
Well, Rebirth was essentially the prelude to this.
Yeah. But, I mean, compared to, like, is it a follow-up to Watchmen or is it a follow-up to Rebirth? I would say it would tie closer into Rebirth, but it has the Watchmen stuff on there to get eyes on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Geoff Johns wrote Rebirth, and he has been writing this forever. Has he done anything else since, or has this been his prime focus? Because they are very much like one story.
Yeah, he was doing... Shazam. He was also writing Batman Earth 1 Volume 3 with Gary Frank. That was put on hold, but I mean, he was
Which is supposed to be out next year.
Yeah. And then he was writing something else, too, that's also going to be coming out next year. But now I'm, like, totally drawing a blank on what that is.
Yeah.
But it's almost done.
Okay.
Oh, 3 Jokers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, with Jason Fabok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that... he also got pulled off to do some TV stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been a pretty busy boy.
He has.
In the last couple of years.
But I would say, like, his comic writing has been consistently centered around this story.
Yeah.
Being the emergence of the Watchmen in the DC universe,
Mm-hmm.
and the reemergence of the Golden Age superheroes,
Yep.
the Justice Society of America,
Yep.
and the Legion
Yep.
of superheroes.
Yep.
Yeah. So this was Geoff's big plan all along, it seems,
Yeah.
to bring in this past and future faction of the DC universe that
Right.
has since been retconned out of existence.
Right.
So this was his way of reinstilling the
Yeah.
hope that these
Yeah.
characters give
Yeah.
back into the books.
This book was almost ended up being like a soft crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Because by the end, it's just like, well, we're just going to change the DC universe altogether,
Yeah.
and here it is. And
also, here's the blueprints for the next 100 years of the DC universe.
I was kind of hoping that, like, when it gets to those, like, well, we need to do them.
Yeah, yeah.
If anyone doesn't know, there's, like, in the last chunk of the 12th issue, there's, like, in year blah, 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 this crisis happened, and year
Yeah.
blah, 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 this crisis happened.
They name drop a bunch of things like the 5G,
Yeah, so
some sort of cellular network.
Earth 5G has great cellular service. But I also like they've got Earth 1985, which is like the post-Crisis on Infinite Earth.
Was that when Crisis happened? 1985.
85 into
Okay,
86,
I wondered
yeah.
what the relevance of that date was.
Mhm.
Okay.
Earth 2 now exists with all the society or the Justice Society people in it.
Yep. The New 52, they said still exists.
Still exists, yeah. And a bunch of other ones that, like, if you want to just pop in and play in this little universe, you can. Which is, I think, cool. Like,
Yeah.
Isn't that what, like, the very quick
Multiversity?
like, DCU was trying to do?
I think. And Multiversity was kind of that, too.
Yeah.
I feel like DC has such... They're so adamant about putting a label on everything when they're like, no, this is exactly how it goes. But in reality, it's like, well, haven't we kind of been doing that all along? We just haven't
Right.
actually, like, given a
Right.
name to it.
I hate... As soon as they feel like they need to put a name on it, it ruins it.
Yeah, they have to categorize everything and then make sure it fits into all of these different
Yeah.
brackets. And
Yeah.
it's like, just tell your story.
Right.
You know, like, Dark Knight Returns, one of the greatest, no one set out and said, like, this is in this universe, and this
Right.
acts
Right.
adjacent to this one,
Right.
and if they want to intertwine, it's just like, it's just this.
Yeah.
And
If it's good enough, people will make it canon.
yeah, yeah.
It just happens to work that way.
Yeah. But by the end of this, it seemed like they were definitely fixing a lot of things that fans had issues with.
Yeah.
And setting the groundwork for the next however many years.
Sure.
So I left it thinking like, okay, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
And I didn't think they did anything too like disrespectful to the Watchmen brand.
No, I didn't either.
There was a couple things in there that I'm like, why even bring that in?
Right.
Like the comedian, for example.
Right.
I thought played no role.
No.
And by the end of it, he's left where he was when it began.
Yeah.
But then there's other things like Rorschach, where they kind of created a new character to wear the Rorschach mask, which
Yep.
I'm okay with.
Yep.
Like, it seemed like they're really reaching.
Yeah.
But they pulled it off, and I'm like, all right, if they want to make him pop in again, that's cool.
I think
And
that
then new
worked.
characters like the Mime and Marionette, I thought were a lot of fun.
Right.
And I think they have staying power.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're going to exist in the normal DC universe now.
Yeah.
When everyone else from the Watchmen universe returned to their universe.
Yeah.
Which still seems like they can play in if they want to at
Sure.
this point.
Yeah. Do you think this will open up the gates to jump in to play with Watchmen characters more now?
Are there really any left to do?
I don't know. I was just... if somebody had anything...
Well, I guess the way this ends, it's kind of left in the lap of Sally and Dan.
Yeah.
Or not Sally, I'm sorry. It's left... A bundle of joy is dropped in the lap
Yeah.
of Laurie Jupiter and Dan Dryberg.
Yeah.
So you could branch off that, where they're kind of like the Ma and Pa Kent
Yeah.
to this new Superboy / Dr. Manhattan character.
Yeah.
I feel like we should elaborate on this a little bit more. We haven't really told the story of this, but I'm assuming everybody
people
knows.
read it. Yeah.
So I could see them returning to that if they wanted to, or it just acting as like this theme of Superman instilling hope across the universe.
Right.
And that was what was missing from the Watchmen universe. It was a very pessimistic universe, a nihilistic universe.
A tad bleak.
Yes. So Dr. Manhattan realized that he needed to create a hopeful character, and that was like the Superman analog for his world.
I never had any doubt in my mind that they weren't really going to fight each other. Like, come to blows. Like, that, I don't know.
What would that even look like?
I have no idea, but in the last issue, you think it's going to happen, and then all of a sudden, like, this just horde of other people just come in and start taking it to Superman, and Dr. Manhattan's just kind of trouncing about, just, like, walking around like, In 1985, and Superman's just getting his ass walloped. He's like, come on, man, help! A little help! So I actually got a little bit of enjoyment out of that. I thought it was kind of funny. Earlier issues, them bringing up, like, a once-long-forgotten, like, Johnny Thunder, and...
Saturn Girl,
and kind of all that other stuff, I guess I didn't know where his end game was, Geoff Johns' end game was for this. So I was like, where is this going to go? And we finally got there. It's like, well, now we can play with these toys now. Mm-hmm. Which I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's fine. Because he's been planting seeds in that in even Rebirth as well.
Oh, for a long time, yeah.
Of like, hey, let's get out these toys again and play with them and have fun. But I find it weird that...
Here's a question. Does anyone have an affinity for these characters outside of Geoff Johns?
Apparently, I guess, I don't have any idea.
I have no interest in, like, the Legion.
Me neither.
And I like sporadic characters from the Justice League, or Justice Society of America.
Yeah.
But none of the ones he focused on.
No. Other than, like, Saturn Girl and...
I like
Cosmic
Spectre
Boy.
And, you know, some
Justice
of those.
Society. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Legion. Yeah.
Yeah. But, I don't know. And I'm not quite sure how they fit in because they are very much, like, from that time period, but now they're in the current day.
Yeah.
So it didn't go into a whole lot of background on how they exist in this time period.
Right.
But, I don't know.
You know what I found? The most confusing thing to me is, like, so... When they're setting up, there's, like, one Earth, right? Right now. It's the one that Dr. Manhattan's fucking with. And then he... it kind of starts continuity all over again. Like, everything you remember is now in continuity. And when the newest Flash takes hold, the Barry Allen one, when he goes back in time for the first time, that rippled the universe enough so now it's a multiverse and there's an Earth 2. But I'm like, so if the new Earth has the old people on it? Like, I guess that's always how it's been. Earth 2 has the old-timey people in it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that confuses me.
I know, it seems like it should be the other way around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Prime should be the old, the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of some of the different Watchmen storytelling techniques that he sprinkled throughout this? Like the old black and white detective film that played alongside the main storyline, kind of like the Black Freighter with Carver Coleman.
Yeah.
And then obviously the 9-panel grid.
Yeah. I thought, like, the Carver Coleman thing, for example, like, I thought was cool when it showed it, but it wasn't, I guess, sprinkled enough through.
It kind of came in late.
Yeah, it did come in late, and, like, I liked it, but then if it wasn't there, I wouldn't care either.
No, it didn't quite have the impact that, like, Black Freighter did to me. It was kind of like Carver Coleman was Dr. Manhattan's tie to humanity in this, where he was almost like his guardian angel type of thing, which seemed a little too sappy to me. Yeah. But I think Geoff Johns is naturally just kind of a sappy guy. I think that's like what he gravitates to.
He's full of it.
So he's like the polar opposite of Alan Moore in that term. And this is very much like the other side of the coin, or the button, of Watchmen. It's like Watchmen is the dark, nihilistic side, and this is the hopeful, the return to hopeful optimism of the Golden Age.
For sure.
So maybe it's his way of, like, closing the door on that period where it's like, we don't have to keep pushing this edgy, gritty, 80s inspired material. Like, people are ready for, like, this nice, bright future Grant Morrison would be proud of that statement.
Yeah.
You
A
know?
little sprinkle of positivity.
Yes.
So I also forgot, like, at one point in this, Ozymandias has, like, a brain tumor.
But then he doesn't.
But
Until
then
he doesn't.
So,
Yeah.
I was like, what? Was that just a ruse?
Yeah, it was just to trick the Rorschach
new
character
Rorschach?
into doing what he wanted.
Okay.
It seemed like a lot of Ozymandias' plans were really strung along there, really
Yeah.
reaching.
Right.
To the point at the end where all this stuff happened. And I feel like he just kind of saw it all unfold and was like, yes, I planned that all along.
I thought the exact same
It worked
thing.
exactly how I intended. I'm shot and bleeding to death, but it's all part of the plan.
I caught it with my stomach. I thought the exact same thing at the end where he's like, my plan went to fruition.
Yeah.
I'm like, what was it?
Yes.
I don't even know what it was anymore.
I know. I felt like the Watchmen stuff got bogged down in bringing in all the different DC characters. But by the end of it, it was definitely a DC story that was thinly veiled as a Watchmen follow-up, maybe?
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
I agree with that.
It really didn't need anything to do with Watchmen. It was just kind of a selling point.
Yeah.
But, having said that, they did an admirable job
Yeah.
of handling it.
Yeah.
Like I said, there wasn't anything too egregious. Egregious. I'm just gonna take that from the top. There wasn't anything too egregious in it, outside of, like I said, some of the characterization seemed a little off.
Yeah.
But, like, the artwork was such a great transition and homage to
Yes.
Dave Gibbons.
Yes.
Gary Frank, I couldn't think of anyone else better suited to handle this.
I couldn't either.
In the amount of work that lay ahead of him
Yeah.
for 12 issues, one oversized, of this 9-panel
Yeah.
cacophony
Yeah.
was astonishing.
So, when this first started, this took place a year ahead of current DC continuity, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
I think they played pretty fast and loose with that, because I don't think they'll ever get here.
No, I don't
You-
think so either.
Even if you wanted to say, like, this happened not on Earth 1, that would be perfectly fine with me, and have everything that's going on in current continuity continue to happen, and this happened kind of over here. It doesn't work because there's only supposed to be one Earth.
Yeah. I had a hell of a time trying to narrow down what continuity this was actually supposed to take place in.
I did too.
And in it, Superman's parents are killed in a car crash, which is from New 52.
Yeah.
But the other stuff in it didn't seem like it was from New 52.
No.
So I don't know. I'm just assuming it was like just some random parallel Earth, but
Right.
I don't think it was either, so
Nope.
I'm not sure.
If you think about it too hard, it just breaks it.
Yes.
But, like, if you just play fast and loose and fun, like what we were saying before, just do whatever you want. And
Yeah.
if you like it, it'll be folded
Don't put a
into
label
canon.
on it.
Yeah.
I did really love the issue, I think it was issue 10, where Dr. Manhattan realizes that the universe hinges on Superman.
Yeah.
And by moving the lantern from the original Green Lantern, he
Yep.
shifts everything,
Yep.
and suddenly Superman isn't introduced until later, and
Yep.
that throws off everything.
Yep.
I thought that was really cool, and I
Yep.
liked how it played with all the different timelines of Superman.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that is really good.
Yeah.
That is super meta. Again,
sure.
Grant Morrison would love this.
For sure.
It seemed to go like hand in hand with Multiversity and some of the stuff that he cooked up.
Yep.
But a lot less of the Alan Moore side of things.
Yeah. With the Superman stuff at the very end when it's all wrapped up, I like that they've kind of, well, as much as like they're going to keep reintroducing Superman to a new generation every few years or whatever. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's hinted at. But I liked here too.
I like that they say, we're just gonna do it. Like,
Yeah.
just
You gotta
deal with
get
it.
used
I
to
know
it.
you didn't like New 52, but chances are we're gonna do it again. This is our this is our exit strategy.
Yeah.
Just get used to it.
I did
Your
like...
Superman is fine.
Yeah.
He still exists.
And he's so fine that we're going to just incorporate everything that you kind of liked. We're going to go back in time. Mom and Pa Kent aren't going to die in the car crash. They're going to get saved by Superboy, who now exists in this universe.
Yep.
And he's going to grow up to be Superman. Mom and Pa Kent can be alive in the present time until he croaks by having a heart attack.
Which we're all banking on.
and then it's gonna be fine. He goes off and sees the Legion 1,000 years from now. There you go. That's the Superman we all know and love, right?
That's right.
I
Yep.
guess. So, Doomsday Clock, it's been a wild ride, Dave.
Oh, boy.
What were your favorite moments of the series? What did you dislike about the series? What do you think didn't work at all? What are you excited for in this new, bright new continuity that Johns has put in front of us?
That's right. Any more Watchmen tidbits that could be sprinkled into the DCU?
Yeah. Why don't we start a conversation down below? But until next time, I have been Short of the Max Extreme.
And I've been Ghost Hunter Dave.
And this has been IMPERIUS REX. # Doomsday Clock Watch. At its end. Kind of.
Nothing ever ends, Troy.
Oh, fuck. See you next time. Bye.